Shana Tovah, Temple Beth Ahm. Welcome to our first ever High Holiday e-service. This year, we are not physically together, so we have come direct to your small screen. I hope you have a meaningful and sweet new year. Enjoy this video filled with a small taste of Temple Beth Am's holiday service.
L'Shana Tovah. About 6 months ago, just a few weeks after the coronavirus outbreak hit close to home, and we started having Kabbalat Shabbat services on Zoom, I delivered a Devar Torah on Parshat Vayikra, the first Torah portion in the book of Leviticus, a book whose main topic is sacrifice. And in that Devar Torah, I made the point that this pandemic has forced all of us to make sacrifices. This year, we have all had to sacrifice things that we valued. Of course, there were the minor inconveniences, such as the closure of restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, bowling alleys, and hair salons. But there were also major event cancellations, ranging from bar mitzvah services to weddings to graduations. Not only were many family vacations canceled, but so too were Passover seders with family, friends, and community. And that's not all. Funerals in many places were limited to just the immediate family, and participants had to bring their own shovels. Back in March and April, some cemeteries only permitted 1 or 2 family members to symbolically throw handfuls of soil in the grave of their loved one. But amidst all of the gloom and doom of COVID-19, there was a glimmer of light. In ordinary circumstances, we willingly make sacrifices all of the time. In order to achieve some of the most worthy things in life, we sometimes had to give up something in order to gain something else. If we want to help other people or organizations by giving tzedakah, we have to give up some of our own money. If we want to get thinner or lower our cholesterol levels, we have to give up certain foods. If we want to get in shape or maintain physical fitness, we have to exercise, thereby giving up time we might have spent engaged in less strenuous activities. If we want to have a healthy marriage, we have to work at it. And that may mean making compromises at times for the sake of the relationship. Just because our sacrifices in the age of COVID-19 have not been voluntary, just because we didn't willingly give up what we had to give up, that doesn't mean that we haven't gained something from this experience. During these months of disease, quarantine, lockdowns, and social distancing, with all of the sacrifices that have had to be made, every one of us has gained the strength and the ability to look inward and determine what our priorities are. Since we had to curtail our previous practice of driving around from activity to activity, from place to place, we had more time to stay in one place, which meant that we had more time to spend with the people we live with. Or if we live alone, we had more time to make phone calls or participate in Zoom classes and meetings, which have provided us with opportunities to connect with others in virtual ways. One of the most valuable hidden blessings of the time we had to shelter in place was the opportunity to be in constant contact with friends and family without having to get off the phone or interrupt family dinner time to be somewhere else. For some people, this pandemic has also been a time of spiritual growth. There are many people who didn't used to come to shul that often, but who now participate regularly in Zoom Minyans or Kabbalat Shabbat services. And there are some people who have used the extra time at home, time that they otherwise would have been commuting to work or running errands, to read Jewish books or discuss the weekly Torah portion with others. The high holiday season provides us with yet another opportunity to gain something, even as we acknowledge what we have lost. The corona pandemic has created a unique moment in time. Part of the uniqueness of this moment is the experience of loss, a loss that we feel deeply as the holidays approach and we come to grips with the fact that most of us will not be able to see each other in person and have normal services with all of the members of our extended TBA family within hugging distance. The physical detachment from our synagogue requires us to accept a certain disruption to our spiritual lives. But this unique moment also provides us with an unprecedented opportunity. In the past, you have depended so much on your rabbi, Cantor, and community to provide you with all of your religious experiences. This year, even though we are reaching out to you in various ways and trying to provide a support structure for your Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur observances, you have also been given an incredible gift, the gift of taking responsibility for your own individual spiritual experiences at home. Despite the feelings of loss that we are all feeling to some extent, we also have the opportunity to gain something by focusing inward on our spiritual lives. This year, whether or not you choose to join us for in-person mask-to-mask services at the shul, you will have more time at home to create your own individual spiritual spaces. The page numbers that will appear on the screen throughout this video, which highlight various selections from the High Holidays prayer services that you're used to davening and singing together in a communal context, could serve as guideposts for your own personal prayer experiences. In addition to looking up these particular pages, I also encourage you to explore and try to engage with the entire Machzor. Pray on your own and feel what it's like to have a one-on-one conversation with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. If you find it difficult to connect to God or Judaism through prayer, perhaps you can spend time at home studying the holiday Torah readings, as well as some of the enlightening and uplifting commentaries that appear throughout Machzor Lev Shalem. And of course, don't forget all of the home rituals for Rosh Hashanah that involve food. If you have never baked challah before, take this opportunity to do so. Recite the traditional blessing over apple slices and challah before you dip them in honey, and express your earnest wish for a sweet and healthy new year. Now that you have more time to spend at home during the holidays, cherish that time and savor each and every moment of it. Rather than focusing on the way Rosh Hashanah used to be, rather than bemoaning what we cannot have this year, let's all take advantage of this unusual moment in time to focus on what we do have, the opportunity to take responsibility for our personal spiritual lives. And while you do this, know that you are not alone. You are part of the larger Temple Beth Ahm community, and even though we may be physically distant from each other, we're all together in spirit, and Hashem's light shines on all of us. Shana Tovah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
La'el arech din, levochen levavot beyond din, legolei amukot badin.
Avinu Malkeinu Zochreinu Bezichron Tov Lafanecha Avinu Malkeinu Kodveinu Besefer Chaim Tovim
Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Hasei imanu, tzedaka b'chesed. Hasei imanu, tzedaka b'chesed. Adonai, Adonai, Erachum v'chanun, Erech hapayim, v'rav chesed v'yemet, notzer chesed la'arafim, nose avon b'fesha, v'chata v'noker.
Amen. V'Adonai, pakad et sarach asher amar, v'yas Adonai, l'sarach asher diber.
Amen. V'Avraham ben me'at shana, v'hivaled lo et Yitzhak beno, v'tomer Sarah sehog asali Elohim, kol hashomea Yitzhak li.
ותתפלל חנה ותאמר עלת ליבי באדוני, רמה קירי באדוני, רחב פי על אויבי, כי שמחתי בשועתך.
אמן. ויהי אחרי הדברים האלה, ויוגד לאברהם לאמור, הנה ילדה מילכה גם היא, בנים לנחור אחיך, את עוץ בכורו ואת בוז אחיו, ואת כמואל אבי ארם, ואת כסד ואת חזור, ואת פילדש ואת ידלף, ואת בתואל, ובתואל ילדת רבקה, 8 אלה ילדה מילכה, לנחור אחי אברהם, ופילגשו שמה ראומה, ותלד גם היא את טבח וגחם, ואת תחש ואת מחר.
כה אמר אדוני, מצא חן במדבר, עם שרידי חרב, הלוך להגיע ישראל מרחוק. אדוני נראה לי, ואהבת עולם אהבתיך, על כן משכתי חסד. עוד אבנך ונבנית בתולת ישראל, עוד תדית ופייך ויצאת במחול משחקים.
יושבי ביתך, עוד יכלו עשלה.
אעבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו.
ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, hallelujah.
Known collectively as tekiyot, the 3 types of shofar blasts are known specifically as tekiah, shivarim, and teruah. Tekiah. This is a deep, unbroken sound that ends abruptly, reminiscent of a deep groan. Shivarim. This is a series of 3 broken sounds, 3 short bursts totaling the length of a tekiah. This sound is reminiscent of a broken moan. Teruah. This is a wavering sound consisting of 9 staccato notes, equivalent in length to a single tekiah. The teruah blast is reminiscent of sobbing. Here's another way to think about the meaning and message of each of these types of shofar sounds. With the first tekiah, God is trying to get our attention, calling out to each and every one of us, with a very loud call. It is as if Hashem is saying, I just want to make sure you're listening. The Shavarim tone is much softer. It touches a deeper, more vulnerable part of us. With this sound, God calls out to us with a love song in pleading tones. It is as if Hashem is saying, please stop and consider what you really want out of life. With the Teruah shofar blasts, God is conveying a sense of urgency, as if to say, whatever it is that you want out of life, do it now while you still have life in you. With the final tekiah, that long, unbroken sound, Hashem is saying, just as my love for you is constant, you should remain constant. Constant in adhering to your values, in striving to become a better person, and in making the world a better place. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah.
May the cry of the shofar bring blessing to us, the people who hear its call.
Etz Chaim hi, lama chazikim ba, v'tomchecha meushar. Deracheha, darchei noam, v'chonetivoteha, shalom. Hashivenu Adonai, elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem. Baruch atah Hashem, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Praised are you, Hashem our God, ruler of the universe, who sets captives free. In the Koran Aviv Sidur, there is a story that appears alongside the matir asurim blessing that adds a metaphorical dimension to this blessing. A little boy once found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. He sat and he watched for hours as the butterfly struggled to squeeze itself out through this tiny hole. Then it stopped, as if it could no further. So the little boy decided to help the butterfly. He took a tiny pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly emerged easily, but it had a swollen body and shriveled wings. The boy waited, expecting that at any minute the wings would expand to support the butterfly. But nothing happened. The butterfly spent the rest of its life dragging its swollen body around. It was never able to fly. In his haste and kindness to help the butterfly, the little boy failed to understand that the struggle that the butterfly had to go through to push through the small hole in the cocoon was nature's way of forcing the extra fluid from its body and strengthening its wings. Only by struggling through the hole would the butterfly be ready for flight. Sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. If we did not struggle, we would not have the strength to fly.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבך בעלמא דברה קירותי והמליך מלכותי בחיי חונו ויומי חון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואימרו אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב זוכרנו לחיים מלך חפץ בחיים וכותבנו בספר החיים וכותבנו בספר החיים למענך אלוהים חיים. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מכלכל חיים מחסד מחיי מתים מרחמים רבים צומח נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ובשופר גדול
וכל דממה דקה ישמע ומלאכים יחפזון ומלאכים יחפזון וכאילו רדוע יוחזון וכאילו רדוע יוחזון al tzeva marom, al tzeva marom, badin. Ki lo yisku be'enecha, be'enecha badin, be'enecha badin, v'chol ba'ei olam yavrun lefanecha kivnei marom. Rosh HaShanah yikateivun, uvyom tzom kippur yechateimun. Rosh HaShanah yikateivun, uvyom tzom kippur yechateimun. Mi baskillah, mi yanuach, mi yanuach, mi yashkit, mi yetaref, mi yishalev, mi jaser, mi yani, mi yashir, mi yushpal, mi yarom, uteshuvah, utefila, utzedaka, mavirin et roh hagezerah.
Page 146, V'chol Ma'aminim, followed by page 150, Ve'ya etayu. The congregational part for Ve'ya etayu is just the last line, V'yibnu l'cha keter melucha.
V'chol, 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 ma'aminim, ma'aminim. V'chol, 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 ma'aminim, ma'aminim. V'yetayu kol yovdecha, Vivarechu Shem kevodecha, Veyagidu ba'im tzidkecha, Ay 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 yam ba bum ba ay 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 rai 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 hum ba bum bum ba ay ay rai 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 rai. Aleinu leshabeach ladon achol v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 170, Hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, te'ametzeinu.
Amen. Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom.
Hayom, hayom, hayom.
Hayom, hayom, tivachenu.
Amen.
Aleinu leshavea ladon hakol latet gidula leutzer breshit.
V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
Even though we are physically apart, we are still together in spirit. Shana Tovah.
Adon Olam Asher Mala B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra
B'yado Akiruhi Ve'etisham Ve'ayira Ve'iruhi Geviati Adonai li Ve'lo Ira.
L'shana tova tikatevu. May your name be inscribed in the book of life for a good year. May you have a sweet year full of ahava, biriut, v'shalom. Love, health, and peace.